A lot of us these days, we're cognitively dissonant, and we've been trained and programmed to be cognitively dissonant. So, what I mean by that is, and I got my own definition of cognitive dissonance, right? Excuse me. To me, is when you have a problem, you seek out an answer or a solution. You are provided with a couple of solutions. You decide to remain the same and avoid the necessary change. The comfort of remaining the same person is chosen over the temporary discomfort of making the necessary changes towards transformation. So, when we have a problem, we're provided with a couple of solutions. Either we're told by somebody, we're given some tips, we're given some advice, research, seeing something online. Instead of trying to experiment for ourselves and test it out and see actually if it really works or not, if we can get some improvement, some change, some transformation, we choose to remain in the same situation. And we keep complaining and we keep talking and we keep saying the same things and wondering why we're experiencing the same things instead of making that change, making that necessary change, even though we've been exposed to it. And we see people having these experiences, same experiences as us, and they do this thing, they make this change over here, and then they look different, they feel different, they're living different. You can tell their life is different. So how do we get to that point? How are we just so easily destructively comfortable? You know, how are we so, why is it so hard for us to make a change after we know it's possible, after we know what we need to do? Why is it so hard? So one big connection for me, in my opinion, one thing in our society, whoa, I'm tripping. One thing, I felt something on my foot. One thing, it was just my shirt. One thing in our society that has made it so easy for us to have a problem, be exposed to a solution, but still remain stuck in our problem and not change at all is the pharmaceutical industry, right? Big pharma. So let me explain. What I mean by that is big pharma, they sell pharmaceuticals, right? They sell prescription drugs, they sell drugs, right? And they give us just the right dosages for us to get some temporary relief until you keep taking it, and then you don't get the same relief anymore. So you have to do what? Increase your dose, increase the amount that you take until you keep increasing. And we all know, we all feel it inside of us that in order to really heal, if something's gonna really heal you, you won't have to take it for the rest of your life. If you're gonna really be healed and cured and put back in balance. But our society, our pharmaceutical industry that we got going on that's running shit, they make it to where they focus on the surface level, right? They focus on the symptoms instead of the root. So I wrote down this little metaphor about how big pharma is like a farmer, right? Farmer got a lemon tree. Let's say the lemon leaves is starting to turn a little yellow, brown. They're seeing there's some sickness that's going on. Something's not right. The tree is imbalanced. Something's going on. The farmer sees the leaves and sees the symptoms of the sickness and starts focusing on the symptoms and attacking the symptoms, cutting some of the leaves off, cutting the yellow leaves off, cutting the brown ones off, spraying the leaves with pesticides and this and that and antibiotics, whatever to hopefully regenerate and get the lemon tree back in balance, back in harmony, how it's supposed to be. This farmer is forgetting the soil, the roots, the literal root of the problem. The soil is where the roots lie. The soil is where the root of the problem is, right? As long as the soil has everything it needs, no matter what, the tree gonna be able to grow. The lemon tree is gonna be able to grow and be fertile and be healthy and have no problems. When the soil doesn't have what it needs, or when the soil is becoming too toxic, the leaves, and the tree as a whole is gonna take damage. It's gonna be influenced by that. It's gonna be affected by that. So that analogy, that metaphor, can be related back to Big Pharma, right? We get a headache. We have a cold. We have a fever. We have this, we have that. What do? Most people do, not me. Most people, they get a headache, they take pain medicine. Their stomach hurting, they take pain medicine. Their ankle hurting, they take pain medicine. Their neck hurt, they take pain medicine. Heart palpitations, medicine. Let me get a pill. My heart's racing. Anxiety medication. Depression medication. Like, even just saying this is like, bro, really? When you know there's a root why you really depressed, but you want to take a pill, you want to take this thing outside of yourself to give you that temporary comfort, that temporary false feeling of balance where you just feeling. And most people, they be taking depression pills and anxiety medication. It just says it makes them numb. It don't even make them feel like themselves. So we all know that pills have side effects, right? And for me, I'm just wondering, I'm looking around because I like the natural way. I like the holistic way. We come from the earth. We use the earth. We work with the earth to heal ourselves. We go within to heal ourselves. Not outside. I'm not about to have a stomach problem and get something that didn't come from the earth completely. If I got something wrong with my stomach, first of all, I'm going to take into account what I've been putting in my body, my stress, the way I've been sleeping, how much I've been sleeping. All of that stuff has a big impact on me personally, and that's just from observation, experimentation. I got to take certain herbs. I got to drink certain teas. I got to eat certain fruits with a lot of fiber, with a lot of water content. If my stomach is having some problems, if I am constipated, for example, if I'm constipated, I'm not about to go take some Miralax. I'm not about to go get some the little powder fiber that be sold and people be having and taking, right? Pepto-Bismol if your stomach really hurting, if you have an indigestion. These things don't help shit. They don't help us. It's a Band-Aid. You don't cut off your thumb and put a Band-Aid on it. I know this extreme example, but you don't have a problem and just put a Band-Aid on it. You get to the root. You do what you need to do to really handle it. If you're depressed, you have to go within. You got to figure out what are you holding on to. What do you keep recycling in your mind and keep thinking about and reflecting on, and it's got you fucked up and messed up in your head, and you feel like you can't let it go. You feel like you can't heal from it. You got that attachment to that past event, right? And not taking the pill. Don't go pay for this pill that's not even gonna help you. Why are we paying for stuff that's not even helping us? I have someone I know, hormonally imbalanced. She been trying everything, patch, this, that, still having crazy irregular periods. She's not even supposed to be having them. Like that, right? And the uncomfortable thing to do after trying the doctors don't know. They can say this, oh, we can do this, oh, we can do the hysterectomy, cut whatever out. We can give you this, we can give you this, we can give you this pill, we can give you birth control, this and that, right? It's always a Band-Aid, a toxic Band-Aid, a Band-Aid with some germs, a Band-Aid that's gonna make us worse, not make us feel better. But it gives us that false sense of comfort and security. And oh, I am feeling better. Oh, it is working, because we got that placebo effect. And they know, they work with that. They know that, and they work with that in our mind, because our mind is the most powerful thing. So if we believe that something is going to be healing us, that's all we need. That's the healing right there. The healing is done. If we know that something's going to heal us, just like sugar pill experiments, right? I know y'all heard of that. Or if you haven't, scientists have done experiments where you got group A who's given a real pill, a real medicine, right? To help with, let's say, a stomach ache, for example. You got group B that's given a sugar pill, but they're told that it's a real pill, right? And then you have group C that's just given whatever, I don't even remember, but okay, you got one group that's getting the real pill, you got one group that's told that they're getting the real pill, but it's not. The second group, they almost had the same exact results of healing, if not more. Let me just say the same, just to be safe. I don't want to be lying on here. But they almost had the same exact results of healing, the same exact rates, almost. It wasn't some crazy difference. Proving that the placebo effect is real and the power is within our mind. It's not what we take, but our mind that knows that what we're taking is going to help us and it's going to heal us. We're trusting what we're being told. We're trusting what these people are telling us, what the doctor is telling us, that it's going to work, that it's going to help us, and it does. Mind, right? So, for me, I know the herbs work. I be taking tea, I drink tea, I feel it already, or I'll swallow some, herbal, let's say, pills, right? I be feeling it right after I take it. Sometimes, honestly, before I even take something, I already feel it. My body is anticipating because it knows I've taken it so many times. It already knows how I'm gonna be feeling. So it starts to generate the feeling already. It starts to generate the relaxation, the comfort. It starts to generate whatever feeling I'm anticipating, because I know, and I got that memory of how it's made me feel in the past. That's the power of the mind. Nothing is doing that in me except my mind. Dude. We've been programmed to be cognitively dissonant and to be attracted to the easy way as opposed to the hard way. And the hard way is the real way. The hard way is really what we got to do. And it's in the beginning, yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it may hurt a little bit, like getting into the gym for the first time after not being in there for a long time. But after some time, you get accustomed, your muscles get used to it, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. You start to get attracted to the very thing that you hated, the very thing that you were scared of, and the very thing that hurt you so much in the beginning. You get attracted to it. You get used to it. And you look forward to it because you know it's gonna make you stronger and fortify you, your mind, your muscles, your body, your soul. If you don't do that, if we don't do what's hard, if we always choose the easy way, if we always choose the blood pressure medicine instead of taking ginger tea, anti-inflammatories, this and that, taking the bitter teas to clean out our colon and cleanse our gut so that our body and our heart is not trying to pump all this blood because the blood vessels are so clogged up and this and that and blah, blah, blah. It takes work. It takes us being consistent to be healthy, taking care of ourselves, choosing the whole natural foods instead of the hyper palatable foods. Even though sometimes they may say organic, but if you turn it around on the back, it still has the paragraph on the back of ingredients. Instead of just getting some greens, some onions, some tomatoes, some steak, some organic grass-fed steak, some steak from a farm, some carrots, some this, that, whole foods, dates, figs, whatever, nuts, whatever. We really been programmed so much, guys. We're living the opposite of reality, the opposite of how we supposed to live, the opposite of how we came here to live. We're sick. We be knowing that we're destroying ourselves and we don't care until it gets too serious. And then we start worrying and be stressed and depend so much on, oh, I gotta go to the doctor. I got stage 4 cancer. Now I gotta go start getting this radiation. Now I'm stressed out. The doctor told me I only have 3 months. I'm worried. I believe him. I don't see if there's any other way that I can get out of this because the doctor's not telling me to change anything with my diet. My diet is good, but it's just, I gotta get this chemo. I gotta get this radiation. I gotta shave my head, right? But I don't have to change anything, but I do have to start taking these precautions, taking this medicine that's going to be robbing me of my vital life energy, my life force. That's it. That's what we believe. That's what we've been trained on these days, guys. You got cancer, is radiation. Cancer is the body focusing toxins in a certain area because we've neglected a certain emotion for so long. We've been holding on to something for so long, not letting go of something for so long, repeating something for so long that's destroying us, that's making us feel sick, not forgiving somebody for so long. And that causes us to be what? Be stuck on being negative, be depressed, just recycle that negative energy. Our body gets weaker and weaker. We depression eating, so now we're eating ice cream, we're eating more processed foods, we don't give a damn about life, we don't care, this and that, we feel sad all the time, we're thinking negative thoughts, why is my life like this and that, and then you get cancer, because you're not giving yourself what you need, and like I said in my last video, you're out of alignment. When you're in alignment, your body is going to be filled with life force energy, you're going to be doing what you need to do, you're going to be taking care of yourself, prioritizing yourself, loving yourself, but when you're out of alignment, nope, you don't do that. And after being out of alignment for so long, for so many years and years and years, you develop what? Cancer, which is the body doing what it's supposed to do. Cancer is not something scary. Cancer is not something that's this thing that's incurable and this and that, like we've been trained to believe, but we've been trained so much and programmed so much. And I'm going to talk about that and break that down more later. But all I really, really, really wanted to touch on is how we have been programmed and trained to be stuck in our problems and to hold on and to be comfortable in our problems. Comfortable slaves. That's the most dangerous thing we can be, is a comfortable slave, destroying ourselves. They train us to destroy ourselves. They don't have to do anything. They are big pharma, like I was saying. They are corporations that want to see us down, don't want to see us vital and full of life. They want us dependent on them. That's they. The corporations who want us to, subscribe for life, subscribe to these pills for life, subscribe to these whatever for life, these beliefs. At the end of the day, that's what it is, beliefs, ideologies for life. Once they hook us when we're young, that's it. They be thinking they got us, but they don't have all of us. But that's why I'm making these videos, to help and just, let's think, just think. Let's think a little bit, man. They got our brains turned off, TikTok brain. We gotta think. Let's think. Pharmaceutical industry is making billions. How? How are they making billions? How do we have the most advanced technology, whatever, Western medicine in the U.S., best hospitals, best this, but we got the sickest, one of the sickest countries, one of the sickest nations, one of the most obese populations? Come on now, man. What? Make it make sense, dog. Cancer. People not getting healed from cancer consistently. People are dying in cancer and just dying and dying. We're dying and we're living like this because we're ignorant. We lack the knowledge of self, and we lack that knowledge of being in alignment versus being out of alignment. We get sick because we're out of alignment. But we stay in our problems. We stay stuck. We feel like we're stuck because we're out of alignment. Okay, so comfort creates weakness. Discomfort creates strength. But the discomfort is only uncomfortable for a temporary period of time until you expose yourself to it more and more and more, and it becomes comfortable. I did back in the winter, I was getting in the pool every day using it as a natural cold plunge because I didn't have one. At first, it was crazy. I was feeling it so much, and my body was so shocked, and it had a crazy reaction to it. But day 5, it was good. I was happy to get in there. I was ready. I was excited because I knew how it was going to make me feel and make me breathe deep. And have me so focused and present. I wouldn't be thinking about anything, no problems that I got going on in my life, no nothing. And I ended up doing it for very consistently for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. It was a while, and after a while, I was just used to it. I'd be like, okay, let's get it, cold water, let's get it. Feeling good, swimming in there for 15, the water's freezing. I'm swimming in there for 15 minutes. But in the beginning, I'm like, breathing. Let my body get acclimated. Minute 2, I'm swimming around. I'm feeling good. I'm shadow boxing. I'm swimming underwater. This and that. We have this crazy ability to adapt, but it's just the ability to adapt to whatever, whether it's negative, positive, being out of alignment, being in alignment. We adapt no matter what, because that's how powerful we are. So, same thing with bitter herbs. In the beginning, I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is nasty. But if I know if it's good for me, I need to take it. I'm drinking it. Sometimes you got to drink detox bitter herbs for 30 days, 14 days if you want to see some real results and some real benefits and really feel it. The first 5 days, I'm like, man, it's getting a little better, but it still is nasty. I'm still making faces, grimacing, stuff like that. Day 14, day 10, I'm good. Let's get it. Because I know how I'm about to feel after, and I know what it's doing for me. But we adapt to things that are uncomfortable over time once we consistently do them when they're good for us, just like we adapt to things over time once we consistently do them when they're bad for us, like smoking weed. For me, smoking weed, I can feel good and enjoy life. I feel like if I have nothing to do in life and no goals to strive after and stuff like that, I can do it. Or if I'm just going to the gym, right? Sometimes, I feel like, being honest, weed for me has been a whole journey, right? And at the end of the day, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I don't need it. I don't need it, and it's not something that really constructs me and builds me up. I be wanting to chill, right? That's what we want to chill. We want to eat more food, and it's really not good food. I be trying to smash whatever is around me. It's right, and it be delaying me. It's like you think you're doing something, you think you're moving forward, but you're not. You're not making progress. But that's how it affects me, though. I know it don't affect everybody like that. Some people, they smoke it and they be going hard and getting it done and getting it in and getting everything that they want to and plan for the day done. For me, it's not like that. I had to accept that reality, but I've been choosing it for so long and smoking it for so long because I got comfortable and I adapted to that feeling of comfort, that feeling of overeating and being lazy and sleeping and being slowed down and labeling it as peace, and falsely labeling it as peace, but in reality it's procrastination and it's destroying me. So comfort creates weakness. Discomfort creates strength. A lot of times I would run to weed, when I was feeling something emotionally that I didn't really want to handle, didn't really want to face, something that I was going through that I got used to numbing myself with the weed, basically, because it was easier to smoke that and get to that state than being sober and, facing and thinking about what I got going on, right? So comfort creates weakness, discomfort creates strength. Working out, I don't have to explain. I don't have to go too deep into that sauna. I don't have to go too deep into that. That shit don't feel good. It's uncomfortable in the beginning, but after, you good, you straight. Especially when you see how you feel after. So, just a few little examples of healthy discomfort for us: cold plunge, heavy exercising, meditation. Nowadays, there's just stillness because we're so caught up in consuming food, eating, social media, listening to music, having the AirPods in through work all the time. Meditation is uncomfortable for a lot of people, or they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to be still these days. Constructive, uncomfortable conversations, especially when you're in relationships with a partner, right? But relationships with our friends, we gotta have those talks. We gotta be there for each other and tell each other the real shit in love. We need to tell each other, hey, bro, you need to lose some weight, man. Like, dude, if you keep going down this path, you're gonna die, bro. If you keep doing this and this, you're gonna have a heart attack, man. I care about you. I love you, so I'm trying to tell you. And it's not always the best thing, because a lot of times we tell people what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. So constructive, uncomfortable conversations, that's another form of healthy discomfort. Honesty, transparency, that's uncomfortable for a lot of people, including myself sometimes. But that's something that we need. Sauna, fasting, not eating food for a while. Some people, they get hangry. Bro, for real, hangry, you gotta put something in your mouth. And if you don't put something in your mouth after a certain period of time, you getting angry. Nah, bro, that sounded funny. Pause. But for real, come on, bro. Come on, man. That's the parasites. You gotta get my parasite cleansed, because once you clean them out, that's what be making you mad. That's what be controlling your emotions and this and that. Once you do, hey, man. Deep parasympathetic breathing. Breathing in deeply, filling up your stomach, expanding your stomach, and then pushing all the air out. Excuse me. These days, a lot of people are shallow breathers. We don't really consciously breathe, and we don't use our God-given lungs to their full capacity. So a lot of times we breathe in on 40%. Breath is life, breath is spirit. So you only get 40% of spirit. You're not really getting the full power, the full life force energy that you can be getting if you were deeply breathing, consciously aware of your breathing. It helps you keep you present too. So you're killing two birds with one stone. You're getting your deep breath in, and you're filling up your lungs, and you're oxygenating your brain and your blood, and you're also staying present, because you're thinking, oh, I gotta keep breathing. I gotta focus on my breath. I gotta stay centered, because I gotta focus on my breath. Make sure I'm breathing deeply. Make sure I'm filling up my stomach and breathing and keeping myself calm. That's another thing I gotta talk about too. That power of that, especially when you be intentional and do it all day. That's a natural high. That's something different. That's a feeling that we can never get you to, ever. Receiving feedback about your weaknesses and shortcomings, that is another healthy discomfort that's very necessary. It's tied into transparency. It's tied into constructive, comfortable conversations. But receiving feedback about our weaknesses and shortcomings, that helps us grow. Our ego feels some type of way. We feel bad. We feel uncomfortable, right? It's because we're trying to reject it a little bit. But when we just accept it and receive it and be open and be like, okay, yes, this is something I need to work on. I'm weak in this, but let me work on it. Let me try to change this and this. Let me stop doing this. Let me substitute it with this. You feel better. You're thankful for the person who talked to you, and you're thankful for yourself for being receptive and for making the proper change or changes. So that's it. Healthy discomfort. Comfort creates weakness. Discomfort creates strength.